Hi, guys, and welcome to our live stream. In this specific one, what I'm going to be doing is going over social media management and showing you how to simplify it, showing you not only how to simplify it, but how to utilize automations to take it to the next level. So the reason for this is, again, you could be managing social media, you can manage it for a client. Sometimes it's time consuming. I'm going to show you how to utilize it while utilizing our systems and how to really scale it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this shared over to our Facebook group so that way we can get some people to join. Also, I'm going to do a live broadcast like I always do. Anyone can join these at any time. Anyone can comment these on any time. I do my best to answer questions. I do my best to show things. I do my best to explain absolutely everything. So that way you have it, okay? That way you have something more than just a video of me saying, hey, come look at this, right? I want you to see it, okay? Let me do social media management automation. You want to watch and learn this. Learn this. Hey. So I'm going to post this on here. And then I am, of course, this video group, right? I like it when people join. Right? It's not, I just don't like sitting there in my box being like, oh, what are people going to say? I love it. I absolutely love it when people join because they have questions. I like questions. And again, for those who don't know and haven't done this, I'll say, let me do join, haven't done this. I mean, some of these things that I do, I mean, I'm selling this for multiple thousands of dollars a month to clients that I do this for. Multiple thousands of dollars a month. I mean, from like a few $1,000s up to like $15,000. Like, there's a lot of money to be made on these things. So if you're not watching these, watch these. Like me, I do them for free. Like, come on, don't be a bum. Watch them. Okay. So let me do this. YouTube link. I don't know why my thing is working like that. YouTube link. Watch them. It's good stuff. Okay, I just set the meeting link. I have everything. So let's dive in. Okay, so what we're going to do, let me clear a few things up, making sure that we have our system up and running. Okay, and then I'm going to open a few things as well. So you don't see my screen yet, but you will. Don't worry, it's coming. I promise. Okay, but let me do this. Drive. Let me open up a drive so I can draw up my schematic for you. So that way you can see what I'm doing. You can utilize these processes. They're not difficult at all. It doesn't take a crazy scientist to figure these things out. It does not take that, okay? So if you're like, I can't do this, well, get up to speed. That's all I'm going to say. Get up to speed. I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to wait for you, okay? Okay, I am. I'm going to help you. But just get up to speed. We're here waiting. Get up to speed, okay? So let me dive in. I'm going to start screen sharing so that way we can jump on in. Okay, so now I'm jumping in. You'll see that double thing. Okay, so let's dive in. So the idea of this one is this, okay? Let's say you're a social media manager, right? What do you have? You have your client, and then what you're going to do is your client, what do they expect? Their desire is to get posts. Well, why is their desire to get posts, right? And their desire is a few things, okay? So one of the desires that they have posts for are branding purposes. And again, I have to hustle. I have about 10 minutes to run through this. Branding purposes, okay, until a next meeting. I might switch back my next meeting because he booked it too quick. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch back my next meeting. So let me stop sharing my screen for just a second. It's fun, right? And the reason I'm going to switch back is because I do a lot of this stuff for free. So let me just do this. Where is this person? Care if we push this back for 30 minutes. I'm doing a live. You're welcome to join. It's for social media automation. Look at that. And then for me, this is how I always do it. Like if the person like, wow, we had a meeting at this specific time and you pushed it back, so you're not respectful of time. Let's say that's the case. They're not my client. Sorry. I deal high end clients, like huge corporations. I build corporations that dominate industries. Not too worried about small ones. However, I do my very best to serve every single person. And I have a level, in a sense, for every single person. So as you're scaling, that's what I do. Okay, that's who I am. That's what I do. That's everything. Okay, so I just sent that, so we should be good to go. Okay. Okay, so for instance, you have a person and their goal is branding, their goal is leads, right? A lot of time their goal is actually, hey, if you do social media, like I want to generate more revenue. And that's the case, but you have to let them know exactly what social media is for. Social media is for perception, period. Okay. Can you gain revenue off of it? Yes, you can. There are tracks for it, right? You can gain revenue, you can gain channels, you can gain all of that, but it is made for content, social media. The more content you have, the more perception you gain, the better off you make in sales. So the goal is perception. Okay. So now what will happen is this client will say, I want you to post 5 million times for me in 3 days. I'm kidding, but that's the goal, right? Because their main goal, jumping down here, their main desire is they want leads. And then, of course, these leads result to their sales. And then that comes back to them in money. Okay. That's what they want. Okay. So you can now depict, do you want to do a high dollar social media, or do you want to do a low dollar social media? Either one's fine. Okay. But what we're going to be focusing on is how do you manage these things? How do you get these posts and stuff rocking? Okay. And we're going to be utilizing two things right now. So within our portal, okay, so if you have our portal, let me just jump into our portal really quick, portal.gfunnel.com. Within our portal, depending on the package in which you have, the plan in which you have, right, we organized all of this stuff in a sense for you. So let me dive in really quick and see. Let me make sure my screen's sharing. It is. Okay, so we kind of organize these things for you. We organize custom dashboards, custom software, custom solutions that run practically everything. Okay, but based on where you're currently at, you're either an individual, you're a business, or you're an agency, either or you have a custom one, right? You're going to have a system of software. These software are canvases. These are canvases to work within. Okay, like one's an ad canvas to work in, so now you can run ads. One's a schematic canvas to work in, so you can build out schematics and architect ideas. One's an e-commerce place you can work on, that's a canvas that you can sell things on an e-commerce site. One's a flow, so you can flow data, you can track data, you can do your IVRs. One is for lead, it's lead connectors, it's so you can manage automations on leads. One is meeting room, which is the exact video piece that I'm in. Like this piece right here, I record into it every single time. I record into this every single time. Every single time. I manage clients through this every single time. I do everything through this, communications, everything, every single time, so I have a place to go. Okay, that's what I do. Meeting room, right? Projects, social, we'll be working in social today. Video interactive studio, this is interactive video, and of course there's more, and there's trainings and stuff, right? So what we're going to be working on is we're going to be working within this specific section right here. So if you are following me, what you do is you'd click on that, access now. Okay, now the access now, you'd have a dashboard. Here is your dashboard. Okay, so this is a dashboard. You could dive into it, you could see it, you could go buy it for yourself and brand it yourself. You can do all those things. I'm not going to get that deep. What I'm going to get is the simple process. A person needs content going out, needs to be delicious content with a piece. Okay, so in that case, it's delicious content. So how do we do that? So we have a post. That post is going to have some type of perception. That now perception is going to lead them somewhere to get data. Okay, lead them somewhere to get data coming in, right? So that way you have reach. This is like, think of this as like the cloud of people. I'll just say it's your traffic. Your following, your traffic, and all the above. They're going to be right here. Okay, so this is like, how do you get traffic? You get traffic from, of course, your following. following the platforms on the following, right? Following, I can't spell. Let me spell that better. Following, okay. So you're gonna get your following coming into this guy, right? You're gonna get your people that find you through like hashtags, right? And then people who notice you from organic means, like referral type organic means. So this is more like organic is referral based. And what I mean by referral based, either a software platform or a person is referring them into you, meaning like Facebook noticed that you're doing very good. So they're like, oh, we'll refer people into you. That's kind of the idea. Okay. So that idea applies to kind of all of these concepts. Okay. So this is the idea, right? And then, okay. And then what we're going to do is this. Let me just double check on this too. We can definitely push back 30 minutes. I'll catch up with the other work. Let me know when you're ready. Thank you. And let me make sure. Here's the link for the live if you'd like to join. Hey, perfect. So hopefully it didn't kick off my recording. I don't think so. Okay. But anyway, so we're going to dive into this guy. Okay. So we have these things. Okay. And then what we're going to do is this specific post. So this specific post, there's a few aspects of this specific post, right? So one of the aspects of this post is we have images, right? These are images. The next aspect of this post is we have, so we're going to actually call this thing media. So we have media. Okay. So we have media. That media includes images, videos, and articles, right? Alrighty. So that's what this one includes. So now if you're selling services to people, you can actually sell services based off these guys. Because if you take a look, if you need articles, what does articles connect to? Articles can connect to that person's blog, and that blog can connect to a service called SEO. Okay. Anyways, so that can be done. So now you can offer an upsell of service there, right? There's a few things that you can do an upsell of service if you're selling social media. If you want this thing to work, you want all these three to be functioning, okay? So now you have video. What are you going to have? Video production, right? Video production, this can connect there. This is based on your skill set. You can charge more money on social media on these specific things. So think of this as posting is cheap, right? Designing images is a little bit more expensive. Video is a little bit more expensive. Articles a little, so there's a level here, right? A level here, okay? I'll just do this, design. Okay, so you'll be doing a few of these things, okay? The next thing, what else does this post have? So it's going to have media, right? We know that it has media. What else does it have? It has text, right? It has captions. Captions. And within this caption, what does it have in this? So the caption is going to have, of course, your content body. So you're going to have your body. And then you can be an expert on saying, oh, I'm going to show you how to do hook story offer. I'm going to show you how to do whatever you want to do, right? And then you have your hashtags. This is where hashtag research is. And then you have your CTA, your call to action, your links, wherever you're sending them, okay? So now let's grab this. Let's organize this. Let's push this on over, okay? That makes sense, right? That's everything. That makes sense, okay? If you're like, no, you're missing something, well, just wait. Okay. You'll see, okay? I'm a process guru. This is what I do. So I usually cover this, these aspects for, again, multi-million dollar companies. I design all of this stuff. I create SOPs for all this stuff. I do it very, very well, okay? That way, you know, like, trust these processes. These processes will work, and these processes will make you money. Just eliminate any type of egos, eliminate any type of things, and just say, okay, let me trust for a sec. Let me try, okay? Other than that, I'm always open for feedback though. If I am missing something, just message and say, Cam, you're actually missing this. And it's like, oh, you are a brilliant genius. Thank you. And then I add it. And now guess what? The whole system is done. Boom. Amazing. Okay. But anyway, so we have our captions, we have our body, we have our hashtags, and we have our CTA, right? So our CTA, where's our CTA going to connect us to? Landing pages, right? Landing pages, web articles, right? Could jump over to web articles. Web articles. Yeah, again, I can't spell. Let me spell yet. I'll perfect it. Don't you worry. Okay. So then it comes to all of these guys. Okay. So then now that you have these, you have landing pages. So people can create landing pages for you. People can create web articles. This is all sprouting from freaking social media. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. All sprouting from there. Okay. Then you say hashtags. Where does your hashtag research come from? Right. And then you have your body. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some awesome systems. So we're going to grab this system right here, which you guys know about, Chat GPT. Okay. And we're going to push this guy as an orange person. I call my pros people. I refer to them as people because they're amazing. Okay. Anyways, what can be pulled from there? Okay. So this can be pulled from there, right? This can be pulled from there. Right? Oh my goodness. All of this can be pulled from there. Jeez. What about that? Right? I should have a sticker right now. The guy would say, oh, what about that? Right? Maybe I'll get a stream deck so that way I can throw in some fun stuff, right? But now you can actually push your SOP here. Video production, I don't think it does videos, but you can do your images too. Right? You can have article creation and images here. Interesting. So we're going to do that. Okay. We're going to do that and we're going to do that quick. Okay. So this should make sense to you, right? And then this is connecting to the business. So the information can come here and it can fill these out. Your posting, I mean, how does your posting work, right? So so this is the goal of that posting. Well, this is the media of that posting. What else does that posting have? That posting has a schedule. Okay. Schedule. Okay. So now that this posting has a schedule, boom, okay. You have a specific schedule in which this thing follows. And there is always there's a time in which people will engage. Okay. There's a time in which people will view and not engage. But this is where these come from. Your views, your engagements, your all of that, right? And people taking action. This is where, in a sense, your clicks could come into play. If people actually clicking your links. Okay, clicks, yay. Okay, all of that's going to come back to based upon your schedule, based upon your content, right? Schedule, based upon your content, and based upon everything else that is coming through here. That way you can structure it correctly. Okay, now that you know it's structured, guess what you have to do? Okay, your client. Well, this takes some time to do, right? Take some time. This is where companies will hire overhead and go do this. So I'm going to show you a secret. I'm going to show you how you could utilize two things. Okay, you could utilize your Chat GPT, and you could utilize GFunnel Business, our GFunnel suite. And how? Well, actually, it's called social. We call this social. How you can utilize these to automate this process and seamlessly scale your business. Okay, because if this is it, what do you need? So again, I'll dive deeper. So you have these two. This is all you need to build your company. Chat GTP or Chat GPT, which we have a system for you already, and then your social. That's it. Okay. The next thing you need is this. Let me jump over here. I'm designing you literally a social media company. Watch this. It's good. Okay. You have your client. Well, guess what you have for your client? You have your onboarding, right? You have your onboarding, making sure they're taken care of. Okay. That's how the client comes in. What else do you have? You have your reporting, right? Your systems, your reporting, everything else. I'll just put your e-stage. You have your e-stage. Make sure that person is taken care of. What else do you have? Okay, E stage will cover like your reporting and everything else, right? Well, what else do you have? Your meetings, your reputation side, right? Making sure these people are taken care of. Your meetings, okay? Meetings you can, of course, charge a bit more for, okay? So now you have these things, okay? Well, even before they get here, so this is like your onboarding side, right? What do you have here? Okay, onboarding, before onboarding, right? You have your website, your sign up, your landing pages. So basically it's like that. And then before this, you have your traffic, your influence, your sales. Traffic. Okay. So then what you have is you have, okay, here's this guy, right? Traffic, website, sales. Then they're going to be onboarded and then they become a client. Hopefully that's simple enough. And then from there, what are they going to do? They're going to jump into your E stage and they're going to jump into meetings. And then you're going to cycle this thing back, right? So meetings to E stage to meetings. So that way the client is housed here. This is just the operations that are happening in the back end. And then you can do a few different things, right? So your traffic, you have your marketing pieces. So then we have our paid marketing, right? Once you get there, paid marketing, then you're going to have your organic marketing, and then what are you going to have? Your cold outreach, your outreach marketing. And there's also referrals and whatnot. Okay. There's that. And then what you're going to do, of course, you get a referral program. Okay. Program. Okay. So now you have this. So what's going to happen? You make this client happy, they're going to refer you. And then what happens to that referral, right? That referral, this is your referral. I'll just put it on top and make it connect easy. Referral marketing. This referral program, of course, connects to this guy right here. There's one of your systems, one of your modules, right? And then what ends up happening? The same thing, either it's a sell or however you want to do this, a funnel, a call. It could be I would put it as a video call, right? So now they're in your website. They always jump into a video call. And now you can, in a sense, come here. So this website could be website or landing page. Site landing page. Okay. Okay. Here you go. Okay. Okay, cool. That's good, right? Okay, those are things that are getting you revenue. Yay. Okay. Boom. Okay. So anyways, now we have the system, right? The reason that I make this complex, so if you see this stuff, do you want to know the reason that I make this complex? Is because my clientele are very high level people. And what I mean by that is they're owners and CEOs of companies, of corporations, of organizations. They are owners of agencies. They are large, high-end people. And I can go and I can usually outdo their CEO. I can usually outdo their COO or any person that they have based off of processes. So I make this complex, but I lead it from one source because not everybody can do this. So now you're either going to start with a program if you're wanting to do this, or you're going to have me do this for you. That's how simple it is. Not that I do not help the small people. There's, like I said, there's a place. And for me, it's how do I serve you best? How do I serve you best? I do not serve somebody that's just starting out. I do not serve them best by saying, hey, look, you're going to create all of this stuff. I do not serve you best that way. That's just what I do. Okay. Anyways, video call. From here, video call would be deal. You'd make the deal, and then I'm just going to finalize this. You'd make the deal. From that deal, it would go to onboarding, right? However you do that, it could be video call, it could be landing pages, it could be whatever, right? Make the deal, it's going there. You make that deal with your legal. This is your legal contracts. Legal contracts, okay? Legal contracts. And then sometimes there's no deal made, right? So let's say there's no deal, no deal. Okay, there's not a deal that's made here. What do you think you do? Outreach, paid marketing, right? In your paid marketing, you have something that is called retargeting. Retargeting. There you go. So now what do we do? No deal. What do? We retarget them. And you can retarget them through a lot of different places. So retarget, you can do a retargeting through there, through organic, through outreach, through your nurtures, right? Those are usually the places that you do some retargeting through. Okay, let me push that over. There's also paid marketing, of course. Back, Z. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit so I can, this line right here is being amazing to me. It's making me feel amazing. There we go. Okay, cool, that makes sense, right? Perfect. So now we're not going to worry about all this stuff quite yet. So what we're going to mostly focus on right now is this. Let me bring these guys in a little bit and in a little bit. So what this specific session is going to be over, okay, now that you have this bigger picture of how the whole business and everything operates and everything works, what we're going to do is we're going to be focusing on, okay, well, now that's the big picture. That's everything, okay? Okay, how does that help you? Well, you need to do the posting. You need to have some place to start, okay? So let me line this up a little bit and I will give you that place really quick. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do that. So let's jump in really quick. Again, you were following me in the dashboard, right? Follow me in the dashboard. You clicked on social. You will need, again, two things, social and chat GPT. So chat GTP, one of the things that we did for any of our active members, active people, we actually embedded it into here. So you can actually utilize the prompts right in here by simply typing in hashtag GFunnel, and then you type out your message and then it'll respond to you through the chat GPT. What that does is that integrates into our system. So literally you just use our stuff. You don't even need to go get ChatGPT, but we're going to do it. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is this. So there's two of them. We have two of them. So we have this one right here. Okay. This one just plugs into a lot more of them. I have like OpenAI. I have all these different ones, right? And now I can do a prompt chain. So it's a prompt after a prompt after a prompt. So I could, in a sense, do this, right? And then I can come right here and I can say, what do I want to do? Create a social media post for, so I'm going to show you an example of one, okay? So let's say we're in here. So we're saying this is a Hawaiian, so it's Anna's Island Grill, okay? So we're going to build it in there. So we say, create a social media post for Anna's Island Grill, a Hawaiian and Hawaiian cuisine restaurant, a small family oriented Hawaiian cuisine restaurant. So let's say that. I'll say create five. Create five. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say the temperature, bring that temperature up. We want it a little different, right? So the temperature up, the output, it's saying 200. I like it a little bit higher. So let's do that if we want. Okay. There we go. And now I'm just going to say generate. And now what it's going to do is it's going to just generate that for me. Let me show you. Maybe, let's see. It didn't generate it. No, let me make sure I save the prompt. Save as new. But you see where I'm going with it, right? I'm just message, or I'm just creating a system for it. Let's just do this exact same one. Okay, copy. I'm going to do it in here. This is ChatGPT, and I'm going to say create a social media post for this company, right? And then this would be a description of this company. Now, if I go like here, I put this one as, again, as much as I can up, length up, and then ready, generate. I'm going to show you a fun secret. Okay, so here we go. It's time for some island vibes. Okay, so let's say that's what we want. Okay, I can do this. Now, you see how this worked? I'm going to show you something cool. You see how that worked? So now technically, if I'm in here, right, I can then say, okay, we can categorize it, but let's just go to create content. Okay, first thing that we would actually do is a media. So let's just see if this thing will do some images. Okay, still dilution. Okay, provide your image prompt. Okay, and we would just say delicious Hawaiian food from a restaurant. From, let's say, Anna's Island Grill. Island Grill. Small Euless, Texas. Let's just say that's it, that's it, that's it, right? And let's just say we're going with 3. Okay, so now here's our output. Okay, so here's our output. So now we have multiple different things. Okay, and let's say we wanted to do this. We could then download this if we wanted to. We could then download this thing, right? And now we have our media. So let's say we're doing this. It's generic. We can then download that, and then we can add our media. Or what we can do is we can say, hey, let's manually set this up really quick. So I'll just show you how to manually do it. Okay. So I do that. I would connect to Canva. Okay. So I'm in Canva. And then while I'm in Canva, I'm just generating the content that's needed. So then I can say Hawaiian food. Okay. Let's just say that this is the case. Okay, it's family time. Okay, let's say we like this. Well, then we switch out this image, right? Let's say we just say delete image, right? Switch out that image, right? And then we say this. It's dinner time. Right, and maybe we have a description here, right? Description. So this is a description. Okay, so I'm showing you this to go deeper. There are softwares that allow us to push an API into all of these things, meaning I can push APIs into these. Okay, so all I have to do is build a process to know what is it that I need to see here to make this thing happen. Okay, and I'm going to show you one of them. Okay, one of the softwares that we use, okay, is WOXO Video. Okay, this is in a sense one of the ones that we use because we can dynamically add it, but there's a ton of them that we can dynamically add. But the goal is to dynamically add stuff so that way we have a video. And then how we can structure this now, again, if this is the goal, right? Your media, well, how do you do this? How do you actually structure? Well, if you know that there's an image there, well, then you know that something can apply that image. If you know that there's a video there, something can apply that video. If you know there's an article there, something can do it. But look at this, body, hashtag CTA. So the idea is, let's say this is the body, right? So I can even say restaurant without hashtags. Let's just say that's where I put my prompt. I just make sure my prompt is correct, right? Hi, restaurant from Euless, Texas. Without hashtags. Let's just say that. Try something. That the restaurant is family oriented, so you can take it serious. The recipes, okay. So now let's say this is the first prompt that I get. So what I mean by that is this. I jump in. Okay, if I'm in the dashboard, let me do it from the dashboard. So if I'm in the dashboard, I would go into developers. Now I would choose one of these. So I'm just going to choose one. Okay, now I'd prompt in. Okay, we're building out our entire own prompting systems and AI for this. But let's just say this is the case. Now I'm in here. Okay. Now what I can do is say, okay, what do I need? I need social media content generation. That's what I need. Okay, for who do you need it, right? And I just have to build this out one time ever. And if I build it dynamic enough, it does all the content creation for me. I never need to hire somebody to manage the content. Maybe to create the design, but I never need to hire somebody to do any of the content. The content is gone. Okay, then I'll just show you it. Within GFunnel, okay, so let's jump in here. Let me jump back, exit. Within here, right, within social, you have the ability to do a bulk operation. You have the ability to import recent posts for a client. You have the ability to upload a CSV. So let's take a look at the upload a CSV file. So let's just jump in. And if you don't know what social is, it's Cloud Campaign. Okay. This is the one that we've purchased. We've white labeled it. Okay. We've put it in our system here, and it allows us to automate a lot of different things. Sounds like I have somebody that jumped in. It was JD. What's up, JD? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Awesome, cool. What I'm doing, so that way you know, is we're live on YouTube, okay? And what I'm doing here, finishing up, is I'm going over systems of social media. So this is an entire social media system, and basically somebody could create their own social media company. So I'm going through the different steps of them. I'm not sure how long you've been in here. But people can go through their entire steps, and I'm just showing them really quick how to automate that. So that way they have the entire social media aspects fully automated, from the content creation to the media that comes in, to if they choose to build their own business, they can choose to build their own business within it.
No, I've been following for about 25 minutes now as I'm doing other stuff. And
Okay, cool.
I have so many ideas of how this can be implemented.
Yep.
We'll talk about that offline.
Cool. But what I did, like, at the first of this year, I built a company. It was Club 89 Social. My goal was, how fast can I build a social media company? It took me 3 days, I think 3 days, 6 days, somewhere in there. I think it was 6 days. It took me 6 days to create it. I created it and I pressed run, and my leads were 62 cents per lead. And well, if you have stuff that's automated, and my bottom dollar was $89 a month for social media management, and then it scaled up from there based off their need. How much time does it really cost me? Well, it's automation. As long as I collect the right information, I got the company's name, I have their descriptions, I have everything. It's just automation. I now own the industry, because who else is competing with me at $89? It's too low. It's just too low of a price. There's one person that has it for $79, but the price point is just way too low, right? So that's the idea. And then as you're growing that, what do? You find the cheapest, and then you become the most expensive. So now it's like, hey, look, we have automation that will run anything that you want, but we focus on huge corporations. Now you're in corporation space. The corporations have, let's say, 1,000 locations, right? Mm-hmm. If you have it built correctly, you can now manage 1,000 different locations. That's the big dollars. That's the, hey, we're paying you $100,000 a month just for social media. It's like, what? How do you make $100,000 off of social media management? It's because they have so many systems on there, right? So many companies. Like, we had one that we were managing. We did it at a low dollar, but we were managing 200 locations for, and we could easily do 200 locations at $2,400. When normally, you have what, one person that can manage maybe like 3 accounts, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now if one person's managing 3 accounts, how cheap do you get that person? Well, you can find Fiverr or something, but it ends up being about $500 a person. Well, now you have to get about 100 people, right? Now you're at, oh crap, you're getting up there in price. So just some ideas on there, but I'll kind of continue down this thought process. So it's the idea of content creation. How do you do it? Well, first you need a trigger to ping, right? So how you do the trigger to ping is this. So let's say we're in here and we're going into templates. Templates. Okay, so let's say your social template. So now this is the template in a sense that you need. And then the only thing that you need is you do one more status here. You do this, right? And you do run status. And then what does your run status need? So you need your data, right? Like what's going to happen. So then you say, okay, let's do what's going to happen. You have right. And then you just say simply your media. Is your media created? Yep. Is your to the right content created? Content created? Yep. To the left are your hashtags created? Hashtags created? Yep. And then your call to action to the insert to the left. Wait. I should be interested to the right. Okay. And then your CTA. I think they already have CTA, but I'll just say a CTA complete, right? And then now you have a system that you can automate and you can track. And then you can track the times of your system that's running if you have times of your system that's running. So now all I have to do now is this, my run status. If I was building out a run status, right? I just say, I put in a few different data variants in here. So I say, okay, our data variants, the data variants that we need down this side is we need probably one of them that's like a dash, keeps them all open. One of them is a run. Right? One of them is maybe a complete if we want. And maybe we put one of them as an error, right? Run complete error. Let's say that's the one. I would probably do one more, which is an update in case we need to update one. So then I would say run complete update. There we go. Now I can simply come in and drag down what I want to do, but then now this is my trigger. So now if I'm coming in here, if I'm doing content creation, then my content creation is this connects to a Google Sheet, and that Google Sheet then triggers based off of, so I would say Google Sheet. Right. If I'm in Pobly, it's a little bit different than Zapier, which is a little bit different than Integromat. They're basically the same though. But now all I'm doing is I'm coming in here. I'm saying it's a triggers when a new sheet is updated or a new role is updated, and then it'll give me an API. Then I copy this API. Have you built this before in Google Sheets? Or do you use Pobly at all?
No, I don't. I use Zapier, and I'm
Okay.
trying to actually start using something else like called N8N.
NA10. Okay.
It's open source, and you can self-host.
Oh, let's take a look. You might have gave me some good stuff. Automation without limitations. Ooh.
And there's another
Thank
one I
you.
found recently. I have to go back and find it, but it's more developer centric, where you can create these flows, but you can also code it.
I see. Okay. This is so executions. Oh, so they're doing the same thing though, no? You have
No, but this one is N8N is open source, so you can
okay.
host it in. This is for the managed by them, but you can also self-host.
I see. I see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So let's say we had. Oh, but you're still paying for their workflows, right?
No, if you're self-hosting, it shouldn't really. I have to go double check that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that because it looks like where they're making their money is they give you the self-host, they give you those things, but they're making money off of your active workflows.
Mm.
So, and if you have active workflows, every campaign that you build would be a one workflow, if I'm not mistaken. So you would have unlimited test workflows, but then you'd have one workflow. So it's good, maybe. I would build it out in your own. Like we have one, but this one, I think, depending on how many workflows that you actually put together, this one might be more expensive than Zapier. So over time.
Huh.
So, but I mean, I'll take a look at it and analyze it more. I see it just more expensive is like if I understand what a workflow is. If I'm misled on what a workflow is, like maybe their price point is a little bit different than my knowledge on it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but that's what I'll look at. There's quite a few other ones. Like we have like in our suite really quick, we have Elbato. Elbato is extremely cheap. Flow Easy is extremely cheap. Integromat is based off of data, extremely cheap, a little bit more on the developer side, but extremely cheap. Pobly is lifetime deal, that 10,000 apps. So it's zero if you're under 10,000 like executions. And then
Hmm.
even if you go past that, it's cheaper than all of them. Meta AI is the one that we will be building things within. What Meta AI allows us to do is it's like we're a doctor. I know that sounds weird, but we go and we build out our custom AIs, right?
Hmm.
And then what ends up happening is we have the ability to get people to build applications for us. And then we have the ability to share revenue on that. So we could actually charge per like trigger, meaning like, hey, you have a subscription of a, they call it a spell. You have a subscription of this, right? So
Nice.
now you build one, right? And it's the full functioning module. And then you can say, hey, that's just free. You give it to them for free. Or you say, hey, that costs actually $10 a month. And now if somebody's paying $10 a month, they can actively use it. If they're not paying anything, then it shuts off.
Gotcha.
So a lot of ways, like I consider it like the doctor, right? Because what do they do? Like you go to the doctor, like, oh my gosh, you have something wrong with you. So now they hook you up with all these tubes, and then all of a sudden they're freaking charging you per drip. So they have these things that are measuring the drips, so that way they can charge not you, but the insurance company based off of either the amount that's used, the drip that's used, kind of all of that. This allows you to do kind of the same thing, but it's
Hmm.
just if you're building up that section. Like we're building that up, so we have it. Not everyone's building that up. Like our goal is the main dominator of all digital. So a little bit different than most, but that being said, yeah. But yeah, just jumping back, let me just finish this and then we can dive into ours. How about that?
Cool,
And then
man.
I can end the live too. But yeah, just to summarize it for everybody, I'm going to summarize it. We integrate this. How we integrate this is simple. We have this. We go to extensions. We add this. We only had to add this one time ever. Once it's added, okay, we go to initial setup or initiate setup. We push it that in. That's the URL that we pulled, and now we're going to say which role are we flagging. We're going to take this one. It's J. So then we just push J, and then what we do is we press submit. That's all. It's done. So now its webhook is integrated here, and then what we do is we create, of course, a filter because we don't want everything in here. And if you notice, this is based off of usage. So if you're wanting to be the very best and frugal usage on your dollar, meaning you don't want an extra penny here, an extra penny here, right? The very first one that they do is free. It's zero cost. The next one, let's say you put a filter. Filters are free. So then you filter out all of the stuff that you don't want, right? You could even do a route. So like, let's say let me delete this. So if people, I think you can do this with Zapier. I'm not sure how they charge with Zapier on that side, but I'll just show everyone. So like this one, you could even do a route, and this route will act as free. So let me show you how that route acts as free. Once it loads. It's taking up. I'm taking up the bandwidth. So we have a free route and a free route. So now what we can do is we can get that data and we can say, well, this route was rename run, right? Run, and then it runs a sequence. Well, this specific route was rename, update. Update. This specific route was, we add one. Then we can put the line, and then we can put the error, and then we can put the completion. So let's say this one, rename, and we can bring this back into GHL. We can bring this back wherever the heck we want. We can put a dash there, or we don't even need it there. It'll act as its own filter. We just say complete, and then we add one more route, and then this one is error. Error, and then within the section, so if it's a run or an update, if it's an error, those will have a section to determine it's an error. So it'll change the doc and determine it's an error. So that way, again, it's organized. And then all you simply do is you say, like, let's say I'm in the run side. Well, what do you need? Well, the very first thing that I need is I need content generated. So what I would do on these steps is you need to pull data. You need to pull your client's data, your dynamic data, right? You can pull it from this side. It's going to cost you. So if you're doing that often, it can start costing you money if you have people do it, or you can do it right here. If you add the sheet right here, you don't need a server or anything. You just do a Google Sheet. That's it. So you do a Google Sheet. It says, hey, go get the information, right? So now it's getting the information. What the information is like your client, the client details, so all of the dynamic information that you'll put inside of your prompt. And then what you're going to do is after that, so let's just say this is here. This would be like a Google Sheet. Can I even, let's just do that. Yay. Just some random stuff, but we'll actually fill this in. So once we run a test to it, we run a test and then it'll equate to run. And it'll say, yes, this is correct, right? So you follow through all of the steps. But once this thing is all connected, you do your prompt. Your prompt is an open, you can connect it to whatever software you're using since this computer's going so slow. It's weird because I have supposedly the best Mac there is. There we go, finally, maybe it's my internet. But basically what you'll do on this side is you'll send that information to Open AI if you want. OpenAI will then create that prompt and give you a response. You can now grab that response if it's creating your content, add that response back to this. So now you can have a response based off of, it'll create a title for you, a response based off of, you can have ones that will create you an image, ones that will create you a caption. And how you do the caption, since the caption has the caption plus the formula for the hashtags. So there's caption and then it has the spaces hashtags. You can either have it do one specific post, or you can have it do, hey, I want you to generate captions within or hashtags within this area, and then you bring them together. However you want to organize that. But at the very end, what do you have? You have your title created. You have a link, right? Based off of where you're determining on sending it. Your image then will be created based off of your prompting. Your caption then will be created based off of your prompting. You have your information come back and say, do you want it to be approved? You press no. So that way you can make sure you approve it before that content goes out. Do you want this content to be recycled? You can put no if you wanted. Do you want this thing to be scheduled? You can put no, but then you can add it to a category. So it then can schedule it within our software suite. So then an image can come here. It can jump into the schedule automatically. It can then create the schedule automatically. So it can jump into the specific prompt automatically. And then now you create, if you take a look at us, we have 576 items. We can create 500 and some odd posts within a month. So pretty easy. Technically we could create it probably within a day and just scale the thing. And now that client is taken care of for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever that is. And now we step back and say, cool, where are we posting? We're posting on all their channels here. Okay. What content's going up? Okay. We observe again, what's going on in the channel. Great. And then if you want to offer services like the feedback, like any of these other ones, now you have a full automated system running social media, and you didn't even need a whole crazy corporate team to manage it for you. And then the question is that I'll ask everybody, maybe people could put it in the comments if they want. How large could you scale? And it's a trick question. It's based upon you. You have enough systems to scale to the moon. I mean, heck, if you're shooting for the stars, you can go there. You can go anywhere that you choose. You can design, in a sense, unlimited revenue. If you organize it correctly, you have enough revenue to cover all of your margins, enough revenue to cover all of your influence of marketing, right? Imagine that on autopilot. What are you going to do? You're going to focus on something else. And that's where I come and I grab your brain and I find your purpose, I find your desire, and I create you an even bigger system so that way I can position you correctly. That's what I do. That's who I am. So anyways, that's our quick live. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully this was awesome. JD, what do you think? Was it pretty good? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just kidding. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Cool. So what I'll do is if anyone has any questions or anything, let me know. Of course, I'm always a call away. Just message me and I'm here to serve. So thanks much. I'm going to end this live for now. Thanks. And actually, I didn't even show my face at the end, did I? Not yet.
You did not.
Let me show my face at the end. Did it work?
You're showing me.
There, I'm showing you. I have to do, that's what I have to do. Yay! Okay. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of the weekend. Hopefully it was awesome. Again, if you're struggling on building out a social media company, message me. I have complete companies built. It's as simple as a copy and paste snapshot. Boom, done. Right. And then I will teach you. I have training courses. I have coaching programs that I can get you started on. And I can tell you my main goal, my main agenda is the same. Take somebody through a path. Of course, we make money if we're pushing people through. Of course, there's ways of making money. I don't need to charge anyone for anything. There's ways of making money. My main goal is to push somebody to the point of either legacy project, they have money enough to go do what they wish, or acquisition. We push it to acquisition. Any acquisition cost, somebody that sees a system like this and is like, oh my gosh, you have a huge book of business. Oh my gosh, how much do you think they're going to pay for you? Let's say your ask is, hey, my ask is $500,000, my ask $1 million. Freaking thing's generating more. Do you think they'll pay more than that? My goal is to make them pay more than that. They can pay more than that. Guess what? I make hundreds of thousands. I make millions of dollars. Now I not only help build, I not only help create the system, I can make millions of dollars. And then if I can create two companies, we can monopolize the market together. We now monopolize that market together so it grows that business. And then when you sell off yours, like if I'm building a company for somebody, I expect some ownership, but I give ownership too. So that way it's 100-100. It ends up being that way. So when somebody sells off their creation, they also have a creation back with us. So they can go and enjoy the abundance of life. And then eventually they get bored. Once they get bored, what do? They come right back into our source. Yay. So anyways, hopefully you guys had an amazing time on this. I'm going to end this live now that I finished it. Thanks. And end. Perfect.